Okay, so you guys all know that I'm a naturist, but not everyone in my life knows. I center myself a little more in the shot, be more professional. But anyhow, not everyone in my life knows that I'm a naturist, and occasionally it becomes relevant or even necessary to tell people that I'm a naturist. And recently, I've been making some really, really good friends here locally through my new church. And it became relevant to tell this one friend that I was a naturist, but I don't know him super deeply yet, so I wasn't sure how he was going to take it. So while we were talking, and it became relevant to what we were talking about, so he said that he really likes the way that I talk and the way that I think, and he would love to start a podcast, and he was kind of like saying and not saying that he wanted me to be like a co-host on the podcast. And he said that several times, and I could tell he was kind of like going in that direction. Hey buddy, if you're watching this, that's how I took the conversation. You seemed to be implying something, so if you weren't implying that, then, just correct me. But anyway, he seemed to be suggesting without suggesting that I be a co-host on this podcast, and so it became relevant to tell him, well, I already have my thought out there. I'm already like producing content. Really? I said, yeah, I have a YouTube channel called Mudwalkers. He said, oh, what's it about? Okay, so told him it's about Christianity and rewilding and this third thing. I said, okay, so Christianity, that one. I explained rewilding to him a little bit, but the third one is, and I instead of telling him any buzzwords to start with, I started telling him about the ideas and the why behind it before I got to the words, before I got to the particulars. What I told him was, this third thing comes out of a period in my life where I was really, really attached to porn for many years in my teen years. Not that many years in hindsight, but it felt like an eternity at the time. And told him that God led me into this new practice and system of thought that totally reshaped how I viewed the body, and it freed me from pornography, and now I'm trying to share that mindset with other people. Hi, bug. Bye, bug. Anyway, that I'm trying to share that mindset now with other people, and how that mindset couples together so nicely with Christianity and rewilding. And I told them, essentially, this mindset comes from being naked around other naked people. And there's something about that kind of corrects your mindset, and just kind of more or less automatically changes the way that you view others. I thought that was a bug. It's just water dripping down my belly. Okay, enough panicking. Anyway, it kind of more or less automatically changes the way that you think. And I told him that I got into nudism after I read all about it and researched it and everything, made sure the Bible didn't have anything against it, and that it changed me. It broke the chains of porn in my life. That's not because I'm special or some kind of a superhero. It's just something about the way that Yahweh has designed our minds and bodies, and this just kind of works this way. When you go into nudism for the right reasons, it's deeply healing on this kind of level. So he nodded along, and he was pretty attentive and interested. He asked a few questions. I told him about Cypress Cove and involving my kids in nudism. I told him about some studies that have been done around children and naturism and things like that. But that all seemed to kind of like pacify any concerns he may have had. But at the end he was like, I'm not doing it, but like, whatever, like it sounds like it's a good thing for you, and that's great. So that was about it, and our friendship has been pretty much unchanged since then. But I think it meant a lot to him that I opened up. So yeah, that's kind of a new way to talk about naturism with people who don't know you're a naturist, is starting with the ideas and using that to push into the idea of naturism itself. Maybe you've already been doing that for years and I'm just behind the curve, but it was new to me and I thought that maybe it might be new to you too. So just in case, there it is. After this point, I think I'm pretty much going to be rambling, so I think you know what time it is. Time for the Patreon shout out. This episode of Mudwalkers has been brought to you by my generous supporters on Patreon. Shout out to Nature Him, Todd, Jacob, Jay Sweets, Edward, John S., Joseph, Charlie, Lionheart, Adam, Edward T., Nate, Cyan, John W., Clifton, Trev, None Here, Alan M., Marty, Hank, Austin, Martin, Incidental Star, Dorian, Naked AJ Sup, Benjamin, and Careerbow. Guys, thank you so much for your support on Patreon. You guys are making today possible. You're making my recent videos possible. I'm able to do bigger and better things for Mudwalkers because of your support, so thank you. I can't thank you enough for everything that you do. I keep hearing little sounds and thinking it's humans, but it's just animals, I think. But yeah, like I said, the link is in the description if you're interested in Patreon. There's a $5 option and $10 option. Both options get full access, get early access to all my content. And the $10 option also gets access to a monthly Skype conversation between me and the other $10 patrons. We all get to get together and share stories and hang out, and it's a great time. With that, I'll end the video here. Have a great day, and ke u no do ai.